just taking one person's point of view and one problem and dealing with that. We're taking everybody's.
So Region 5 Development Commission, the agency that I work for, in partnership with several agencies and organizations across the region and individuals, applied to the HUD Sustainable Communities Regional Planning Effort grant. And HUD, DOT, and EPA, 3 federal agencies, got together for the first time ever in our nation's history and offered this opportunity for regions to create a sustainable plan, looking 25 years into the future and saying, where do we want to be 25 years from now? Looking at it from an economic vitality, trying to induce economic vitality, looking at it from an environmental stewardship point of view, and socially responsible practices as well. So we partook in this effort after we were awarded $825,050 to do a planning grant for the counties of Crow Wing, Cass, Morrison, Todd, and Wadena. And we opted to take a little different approach than some of our counterparts who were awarded this nationally. We did decide to do the work in 2 years so that we could get to the implementation, because it's important for us to get to the work of this and not just plan. We also wanted to make sure that all of our work was grassroots driven and that the plans were coming from communities, from our water protection agencies, from other economic development organizations, and include those plans into the regional vision for where we want to be. We took a very inclusionary approach, and you're going to hear some testimony for some individuals that are part of that 200-person consortium. We're actually up to almost 300 individuals that have participated in this work thus far. Very geographically dispersed and very economically dispersed and socially dispersed as well. So we bring individuals to the table, yes, that are professionals and practitioners, but also we brought lay people and just community members, homemakers, veterans, unemployed, students, others to the table who have a voice and have opinions about how they want this region to look 25 years from now and for their children and grandchildren. So the testimony you're going to hear helps reflect on how, and the first question we asked this group was, how does this sustainable communities planning impact your business? How does it impact your life going forward? And what do you want to see? So you'll hear a little bit of testimony into that regard and then some additional questions.
So part of why I'm so intrigued with the HUD Region 5 resilient, sustainable communities planning is that I love living here. I look forward to the future here, and in order for that to be kind of prosperous and possible is I want it to be sustainable. And even more so for the work that we do here on campus with Hunt Utilities Group and Happy Dancing Turtle, it's all around sustainability. And so if we can further that, whether it's regionally, hopefully statewide, maybe even nationally, then I see that being a huge boom for us.
Well, I am not as much interested in my business and my future because my future may not be that long. So I need to be thinking about the future of everyone else and the young people coming up, our children, our grandchildren, and everyone else's young people. So that's more of why I'm on this committee.
You know, I grew up in this area and have had an opportunity to succeed in this area. I grew up on a family farm, and Kathy and I raised our family here. And selfishly, one thing I'd like to see is, you know, to have a resilient economic situation in this area so that our kids could move back. We have 3 grown kids and grandkids, and they all live out of the area. They're working elsewhere, and I would like to see an opportunity for them to be able, and people like them, to be able to come back here and live and enjoy the environment that I enjoyed growing up and also have the economic opportunities that I had.
Well, I believe that it will probably be a roadmap that both the entrepreneur, the venture capitalists, government entities can use to see if the idea is a good one and whether it'll be sustainable and have a good chance of surviving.
As a result of this planning, there'll be greater public awareness of our organization, Green Island, but most importantly, I believe we'll establish strong connections and be a part of a network of organizations that are here to serve the region, and in a unique way that's sensitive to the environment, sensitive to education, and really brings home the importance of art and creativity in our lives.
So those were some insightful opinions about where we're going and what they hope to see and how it impacts them. And the next question I'm curious to know is that what kind of projects do you want to see happen as a result of this plan? What sorts of things really make a difference to you now, 10 years, 20 years from now?
As a result of this planning, I'd like to see us work together so we can cohabitate with nature and not have to run over it to get what we want.
I would like to see the final outcome of the planning here in the Region 5 grant process is that we continue using systems as an approach for all our planning and all our efforts. Because as soon as citizens, communities, businesses, organizations, and governments start using systems as the foundation, it helps them understand that the environment is the valued resource on which we build all of these pieces. So whether we're talking housing, transportation, land use, of course, and our economic base, having it done all through a systems approach can only help us improve what we're doing now.
I would like to see more crossing lines to cooperate with other people. I would like to see boundaries more or less evaporate and it become something that's important to everybody. I would like to see less competition and more cooperation. And I think that's not only needed here, but in a lot of places and maybe around the world.
As a result of the planning, I'm hoping there'll be a greater awareness of Green Island because it's my dream that we'll form collaborations and partnerships and be part of a network of people and organizations and that value creativity, because at the end of the day, that's where people want to live, is a place where everybody's creative endeavors, not just artistic endeavors, but creativity at the truest sense of the word, creating a place where people can thrive and truly be alive.
You know, as we entered into this planning project, one goal that I had was that people who had ideas about how to make things better, how to grow the area, that they would be able to do that with minimal government or regulatory interference, but yet do it within a structure that that makes sense for the long range of this area and economics.